Welcome to an episode of Rambling with Seven. I'm your host, Seven. Duh. It's been a long time. I don't know. Listen. I ain't had no business taking off this much time. I was definitely supposed to be back in May. It is June. BT Dub. Happy Pride Month, bitches. Yes, that goes against my cuss word counter. But this ain't gonna be edited. I might see if he can cut off the beginning part, but this ain't gonna be edited. So this is completely, I have notes. I wasn't supposed to do this. It was basically something that let me take the back. Let me backtrack. I was supposed to do this, but I was supposed to do it days ago. It is currently Tuesday. That does not give any time for the editor. So if it's edited, then it's edited. And if it ain't, it ain't. I might see if he could do minor adjustments, like homegirl ain't got her eyebrows done, ain't got her hair done, But I knew that if I didn't do this today, because I've been coming in from work and going to bed. Okay? I get off work at 3. I get home around 3:30ish. Hit the shower, be in the bed. I know what you think is 7. When do you eat? I mean, when I can. If my wife has the food ready, then I'll eat. If not, nobody ever died from skipping a meal or 2. Sleep is where it's at. Okay? Okay. But yes, happy Pride. It is June. I was supposed to be back in May, and then I pushed it back a week, and then I pushed it back again. And I knew that if I did not go ahead and do this today, that I would I would keep pushing it off. And it's Pride Month. And I can't go until the second week of June and be like, happy Pride Month. I mean, I could, but gross. So I have notes. Well, I have note cards. For the most part, this is probably going to be unscripted. I haven't just been doing nothing during this time. I have been thinking about, the podcast. I've been thinking about revamping it. I'm definitely going to make it more gay. Oh, you could tell I ain't did this in a long time. All the gross. But I'm going to make it more gay. It's going to be, initially I didn't want to focus on queer. I didn't want to focus too intently on queer. I wanted to keep my audience broad. Screw that. I like gay stuff. And my podcast will reflect that. So, but, so this is what had happened, right? This is still on topic, revamping. I was doing a sensitivity read for this author, Raluca Matara. Yeah. I think Matara, right? I believe so. I think so. I see here, if it was edited, my brother would be like, Raluca M. Matara. Oh, that's her name. Got it. Oh, man. Anyway, I was doing a sensitivity read on Not What I Ordered, which will be out on June 30th. And let me just say, I plan to do a actual book review on it. But let me just say now that, yes, it is about a royal and a not royal. I don't know if she's poor. She kind of seems poor. She definitely ain't got royal money, so And the chemistry between those two was just, chef's kiss. What does the sensitivity read? Basically, her character was half black, half Hispanic, if I'm not mistaken. I think her dad was Hispanic. And basically, the author is not. So she wanted to make sure that, none of that, nothing harmful or, that everything was on the up and up. That she didn't say anything that was gonna get her in trouble or any backlash or whatever. And honestly, I forgot that I was doing that while reading it because I was like swooning. So, definitely get that. June 30th, I will be doing a deeper dive on it. But anyway, the reason why I brought her up was not because of the book. Well, it was because of the book, but wasn't because of the book. So she mentioned while we were having a conversation, she was like, okay, because I told her that I would mention it on my podcast. I told her I would do a book review on my podcast. I was like, it's not very many people on there. I don't have very many subscribers or viewers or whatever, which I will be working on. We'll get to that. But she was like, whatever. But if you ever think about interviewing authors, put me down. You would think that a person that wanted to do book reviews on a podcast would have thought about interviewing authors, right? Or interviewing people in general. Like, what is a podcast without interviewing people? Listen, Linda, listen. It ain't my fault. So I was like, oh my God, Raluca, you are a genius. And so now I'm going to be trying to get authors. That'll probably be like a once a month thing if I can swing it. I won't make any promises. It just depends. I'm in all kind of crazy groups though. I will also do like queer facts in history, deep dives into certain people in history, I learned something, you learned something, right? Definitely more book reviews and to try to get out there and promote. I do not do enough promotion. I actually have to pay for some advertisement. And your girl be like, it is so crazy because I spend all kind of money on like Amazon. Amazon gets a lot of money for me. Okay? So I spend a lot of money on Amazon. But I be like, this podcast, see, the revamp, I will probably feel a little more comfortable with, advertising or whatever. What I've been doing in my spare time other than sleeping during this hiatus, nothing podcast related, unfortunately. Well, I've been reading. I beta read So the first one was Our Sinful Love. I want to say the second one is Our Ordinary Love by Amy H. I beta read that and I buddy read that with Books and Binges. She's at Books and Binges on Instagram. And that book was pretty amazing. Major curveball at like 70% of the book. And I was like, But yeah. She is revamping that. I don't know what the release date is. I'll have to check back with that. But anyway, I've been doing vendor events. I do waist beads and crystal bracelets. So I've been doing vendor events with that. I'm at WitchetyBoppityBoop on Instagram with my waist beads. And how that works is I will pretty much freestyle them. I am like a circus act at the vendor events. I custom make them at the vendor events. And I basically get your waist size. I make it just a little shorter than your actual waist size. And then I give you extenders. So just in case you bloat or get smaller, you can still have the same set of waist beads. I thought it was a pretty cool idea. Also, I've been contemplating actually finally writing at least one book. I have like 30, possibly more, book ideas just written in my notes app. So I'll probably try to get around to doing that. Anywho, this is short, I know. But this was just because I don't even have I have a new setup coming. I have like a chair, and I'm gonna get me some pottery. It's gonna be an actual scene that I'll do. So that I don't have to keep putting everything up and then taking it all down, because right now I'm in my living room. I was previously in my office, but I didn't really like the desk look. But I do like the chair. I like the chair look. So I got me one. It's yellow. I may have to get me another robe because I just feel like this robe is going to clash with my yellow. I mean, I have a black one, which I will be wearing, but I like to switch it up, okay? But, yeah. So I did do that. You know, it's funny because the chair was like $200 or maybe less, I don't know. But that I spent money on. Actually getting the podcast out there and doing advertisement. I'm like, she's a runner, she's a track star. Everybody's like, stop running from it. Yeah, I mean, easier said than done. Thanks. But anywho, this is going to be short because I really just wanted to get in front of the camera before I basically never did. So this is just to tell you that I am still alive, still here, still queer, obviously. That'll never change. But more episodes will be coming. I will have them a lot more thought out. And a lot more effort and things will be going into it. And you'll be seeing guest stars so that, you don't just sit and hear me ramble. And I think it'll be easier if I'm trying to do this weekly. I think it'll be easier if I actually get, some structure going here. Because, let me tell you, trying to come up with something at the last minute. Yeah. Alright, well, peace, love, and hair grease. Bye.